Happy Friday. Boy, it's so great that it's the end of the week here. Let me pull this up on my computer so I make sure we're set. And thanks for joining me on a different day. Okay, looks like I'm there. Got a couple people on. Hello. Let me make sure our volume is going. Let's see. Hello? Yep. Okay, great. Okay. Yeah, happy Friday. It's weird to do it on a Friday, huh? Thanks for accommodating. I wanted to get Love Cats in because it has a Valentine in it, so I still want to ship it out on schedule next week so you would have it in time for Valentine's Day. Okay, so a couple of announcements, and if you're waiting for Share a Milkshake, the class materials shipped out yesterday. Oh, and I'll have an email today for your PDF. Okay, so the class is actually in the mail though. And like I said, I definitely wanted to do Love Cats as class based on this stamp set this week, so I can ship it by Wednesday of next week. One of the cards is a Valentine here. I'll put the cards out. They're so cute with this little guy. And this set is only $21 in the catalog. So it doesn't meet the threshold to get the class materials, but it was just so cute. I had to use it. And it's on page 13 of the mini catalog if you want to check it out. Maybe this is a good time to get some other basics you need to get to that $35 level. Remember, I'll send you the materials to make 2 of each of the cards we're making today with a $35 order. And I don't include embellishments, but this week you can also get the embellishments with a $50 order, and I'm using the Solid Faceted Gems. Okay, and it's a great time of year to be at the $50 level because you'll also get a freebie from Stampin' Up, the celebration freebie. So the embellishments you see me use will not be in your kits for $35, but if you have ordered the $50 level, you'll get the Solid Faceted Gems too. Okay, and I will try to coordinate what I'm doing in my $50 giveaway with the class option when I can. I probably won't always be able to do that. So anyway, at only $21, you know, maybe you can fill in with some other things, or even the Stamparatus. You'll see we're going to use that today because these cat stamps are so solid. That's a great place to use the Stamparatus to go over and get really solid images. You'll see when I make my black cat how much that helps. Okay, so one other thing I would mention, some of you have asked about the Country Bouquet punch. That's the heart punch we used 2 weeks ago. It's sold out now until April, and at least that's what they're telling us, the week of April 17th. So I would also point out, if you're ordering, we have a Lucky Clover punch and an Easter Bunny punch, and I would expect that those are also likely to sell out before their respective holidays. Okay, so again, I went over this a couple weeks ago, but when you get the class in the mail, this is how you receive the kits to make 2 cards, and I mock one up already for my live so that I can kind of check myself and make sure I've got what I think I have in there. So for this first class, this is kind of the Valentine one with the cute little sweet sorbet kitty, and it's a regular fold card. We'll do the stamping first. There's nothing too crazy about this. The other 2 are fun folds. Okay, so in your envelope you would have the extra envelope, and then let me pull out one of each item. You actually have 4 of the same Whisper white or basic white piece in this card, because you need 2 for each card. Okay, and you've got the country gingham. I've used 3 different designer papers in this class. I think that's fun, especially in Celebration when we have so much great designer paper. Okay, so I've got a balmy blue piece with a white piece that we're going to stamp the kitty on. I've got the other country gingham piece, and I've got a conversation bubble. So something like this that is not in the featured set will be included cut for you. Okay, I can't include any stamped images, remember, but I will have pieces like this that are part of the card design that you can't make with the bundle, or in this case, the stamp set that I'm featuring. Okay, so let's get started. Let's do our stamping on this. There's going to be some fussy cutting as well, so that's going to take a second here, but we're going to get the Sweet Sorbet ink and this great laying down cat. Looks like he's hanging over this, well, in this case, the brick wall that I've made. Okay, and then on these solid stamps, just take a good look before you stamp to make sure it looks like you've got even coverage. On the foam pads, you're gonna do pretty well if you have a well-inked pad, and I don't think you're gonna have trouble getting a good image. And the harder one to use will be the black pad, because that's a linen pad. And I'm going to show you a trick about that. Okay, so that's pretty good. I just kind of stamped it about halfway down. And in this case, oh, let me finish stamping. That's what I said I was going to do, right? Yeah, on the inside, I've put head over heels for you, about you. And then I have a balmy blue cat on the inside as well. So this is one of the other cats. And again, I'm just checking the back. I feel like I can do pretty good with these foam pads in the colors without using the Stamparatus. But you might want the Stamparatus for those as well. Okay, and I'm gonna need this cat in another color later, so I'm gonna clean it right here so I get the balmy blue off. And head over heels, about you. I think I'm using this in another color too, so let me clean that. And that cat I'm using in that color later. And then I've got the little Valentine greeting here, so we'll have all the stamping out of the way. Hi there, Valentine. I like these greetings because they're a little quirky and they don't need to be super straight. So they're easy to stamp. You don't have to get them lined up. At least I don't think you do. Okay, so remember I said you're going to have some fussy cutting to make this cat look like my sample. And I'm going to do it fairly quickly here, maybe not as carefully as I would if I was not on camera. I'm just going to leave a small margin around the cat. Just a little edge. You know we have a dog in this house, but my daughter brought home a cat at Christmas, so Winston really loved her cat, Archie. So we do have to love cats now in this house. Winston goes looking for Archie all the time. I had to leave Julia's room open and accessible, or else he whines outside the door because he thinks the cat's in there. Now, you can see I've mostly, when I fussy cut, I'm mostly moving the paper. I find that much easier and I get a smoother line that way. Not that I don't get, you know, bumps here and there, But if you do, if you have a hard edge that's hard to kind of round out, if you have one of these sanding blocks, you can take off a little corner very easily without struggling with your scissors to cut and recut to make it look rounded. There we go. So now the little cat can look like he's up on our ledge that we're going to make here. Okay. So I am going to start attaching these. I can put the inside in pretty easily. Let's do that. I took a cue from that catalog sample where the cat was stamped in sweet sorbet. I really thought that was a cute idea. It doesn't always have to be black. Our little family cat Archie is orange, so I will be making some orange cats, believe me. Let's see. Oh, I got some. Hi guys. Oh yeah, Karen, I would have sent you a catalog. I'm surprised you didn't get it, but yes, I will make a note to do that. Huh, that's really funny. That should have come before Christmas. Okay, so I just have the country gingham piece that I'll put in here at the bottom. I'm going to do that with glue so I can slide it right to the right margins I want. I think that balmy blue is nice with the sweet sorbet. Balmy blue has become a favorite in this catalog, I think. Okay, and then this square is already embossed with the brick. So if you get the class, I will have that embossed for you already, because that's not anything you can do if you just buy the Love Cats set. My glue is running out. I have about 4 glues here that are low that I should just finish, but okay, so there's that. And then I'm going to position this so that there's a little margin the way we like it there. And then I'll just plan this piece accordingly. Okay, I'll just kind of slip that piece in so that it's right under where my cat is. And I can kind of do these at the same time. And then I might tuck some glue under the tail and the paw so that they don't get damaged. Okay, so that's just a little longer than my brick wall, so it looks, you know, kind of like a masonry cap. Okay, and I have my skinny glue to tuck under there. Under his paw. Okay. And of course, you know, never go anywhere without my big blocks. Let that dry a second. Then you'll have the twine. So this is enough for 2 bows. So let me tie that while that dries. I'm going to just cut my twine in half and make the little kitty's bow. Looks like a little Valentine kitty. Oh, Minnesota, you getting snow, huh? We got a little snow even in Ohio, but probably not as much as you. Okay, and a reminder now about this class, since I'm off schedule. You know, normally I would have this on Wednesday night with this host code, so that if you purchase on this host code, you get this class and a deadline Sunday night. I'm going to keep that deadline on Sunday night, so you've only got the weekend if you want this class to enter those orders, because like I said, I do want to get this out next week. so that you can make the Valentine option if you want to. Okay, and then I have dimensional for the conversation bubble. I think the conversation bubble is a really great all-around useful set. A keeper, as I like to call, you know, that kind of set that I won't let go of. All right, I'm going to ball up a glue dot for the knot of my little bow. And put it under the kitty's neck. I think that was in the catalog too, that same twine bow. Anyway, like that. Cute, cute little guy. Okay, and then last but not least, these gems have a pretty blue that coordinates. I think it should be balmy, right? Doesn't say on the package, but it goes well. Okay, so there is the little Valentine cat. All right, so that's the first card. That one is kind of straightforward fold. Let's set that aside. And then the next one is going to be this fun fold. This is a fun fold we did at our Christmas party team meeting. It's kind of a fun little accordion fold that opens to the side like so. And I'm stamping the black cat here. So that's a little bit tricky. So we're going to talk about that. Again, the pieces you'll have, the designer paper here, this is Dandy Designs. This is one of the Celebration freebies. So with a $100 order, you get this giant pack of 48 sheets of this. Okay, let me get out my single set here. And I see already you actually need 2 of these per card. So I was packaged incorrectly. See, this is how I check myself. So when I package your kits, hopefully they're right and I don't have to resend. All right. So there we have the pieces. Oh, I didn't get a base. Okay, Fresh Freesia is the color here. And let's go ahead and do our stamping, and we'll talk about the black. So of course the black is from the Memento pad. That's a linen pad that doesn't give as good coverage on our stamps as the foam pads, right? That's the whole reason we went to foam pads a couple years ago, or many years ago now. So when I stamp with the black pad, and I need a solid image, like, for instance, that terrier that we had in the Christmas holiday catalog. I like to go over it, either using a Stamp-A-Majig or, better yet, the Stamparatus. So you can see I have my Love Cat stamp already mounted on the Stamparatus. And I made a template to drop in a deckled rectangle. Okay, so again, you'll have the deckled rectangle already cut, and I can drop that in there and stamp the cat, but you probably won't have the template. So I'm going to put that aside and show you what you would do. You can't go up in the corner of your Stamparatus because the stamp is too long and it would go off of the deckled rectangle. Okay, so I'm going to just take some temporary adhesive, and I've just got a piece of copy paper in here, and I'm going to put that down in the place where I know my cat is going to stamp. You could just put it anywhere and then put your cat stamp on if you haven't set up your board yet. Okay, and then I'm going to stamp my cat like that. Okay, so let me go ahead and show you what I mean. When you try to cover the black with the black pad, it's always a little tougher, right? But we're going to do it in 2 passes. Okay, so I'm just going to make sure my copy paper is pushed up into the corner of the Stamparatus and make my first impression. My cat's not going to be black enough to make me happy, so I'm going to go over it again, see how it's kind of got a lot of white space showing. So I'm mostly going to focus on the cat area and re-ink it and go over it. And 2 times has been good for me in the cards I've made. Now, if you're having trouble getting coverage from your foam stamp pads as well, put it on the Stamparatus. And Stamparatus, I know it's a big ticket item, but it's you know, something that you'll pull out and use a lot. So worthwhile. Great idea if someone needs a birthday present idea, Valentine's, that kind of thing. You know, people who want to give you something bigger. This is a great idea. Okay, so there's that. Oh, I need to stamp the little greeting too, also in black. Now, I think I can do okay. Let's see. On a first pass with this. Now, keep in mind, when you're stamping on the colored cardstock, it also can pose a problem because it's not as smooth as the basic white. Okay, so it doesn't grab the ink as evenly, and sometimes it's hard to get a really crisp image on the color. So you might want to put this on your Stamparatus too, or you might want to go over it twice, you know, with a Stamp-A-Majig. I'm happy with that. That turned out pretty good. My black pad is recently re-inked, so it's giving a lot of ink. Okay, so there are my pieces. Okay, so let me get my base out, and this will be how you receive it. It's already scored, but what you'll notice is I cased this card from Poodles. That's Sam, Ham, and Donald in the UK, and she didn't give measurements, which was fine because they would have been metric anyway. I came up with the dimensions I liked for this, and the front and the back are not even because I wanted to get a nice even accordion pleat over here, and I didn't want to deal in 16ths. Okay, so my dimensions already were dealing in 1/8, and I know people don't even like 1/8, so I definitely didn't want to go to 16ths. But you're going to get this piece, and then you're going to accordion fold it. To make that side that's interesting. And then you're going to start adding these designer paper pieces. Now, the nice thing about this one, this is a 6-inch width, so that's pretty efficient, and that's 4 inches wide, so this is a good use of our designer paper. So that's going to go in the back. What I was going to say is you're going to have to be careful because some of these pieces get attached to one side and some on the other. Okay, so just lay that out carefully when you're ready to do it. And can layer these up. This is a really fun layout to feature anything, really. Let me put this other grid piece on the front. You can have anything featured on the little panel. We did this with the owl and the same paper in our team meeting. This is what we did. It's your day. Hoot hoot, you're so cute. This Dandy Designs paper, really great for using multiple patterns on the same card. Okay, and then these two, we got to tuck in there in the right places. Okay, so like I said, pay attention to which side you're putting them on. Okay, and then the kitty, I actually didn't center this. When you attach it to the front, you're only going to attach it over to this grid strip. So you're attaching just a little bit. So I would use your liquid adhesive or tear and tape or Seal Plus on that attachment to the base. Okay, not here where I'm just putting the layers together, but here. Okay, so let me put my greeting on first, and then I'll figure out how I want to locate this, because I didn't center it. I put it up a little higher. I don't know, whatever you like there. I tell you what, I'm going to use the Seal Plus. No, I'm not. I'm going to use tear and tape because that's handier. So I don't have to wait for the glue to dry. Normally I would use glue. Okay, but you want something strong just along this edge because that's the only place you have attachment. Okay, and then just kind of locate this, whatever height you want. And then the nice thing about the grid paper, I can kind of see where I want the deckled rectangle that matches to go below it. Or another thing I can do is like this needs to go under that petal pink rectangle, so I can also just add my adhesive here on the back and line this up on the back of the petal pink piece and close this carefully. Just kind of check before you push it down hard to make sure it doesn't look crooked. Okay, and that looks good to me. So there we have our kitty, and of course we're going to add our bling. We've got little pink gems to add to this guy. Cute. And there's our second card. Okay, that's little accordion side fold. All right, so moving on, we have one left. Okay, this is pretty slick. This is Case from Connie Stewart. I call it an interlocking panel card. Okay, so it lays flat like so. The paper this time is Flowers and More. That's the Host set in the mini catalog. So if you get to a $150 order, you can choose that paper as a thing you can purchase with your Stampin' Rewards. Now, if you ever have trouble getting to that level, but you have a friend and you both want to spend $75, let me know. I can set up a host code so that they both go onto the same workshop, and then one of you will receive the Stampin' Rewards, which you can pick that paper, and you can split that. That's a big pack. Again, that's a 48 sheet pack with 4 pieces of 12 by 12 per pattern. Okay, so this opens like so. Oh my gosh, love it. It's so cute. There's and all of these cards I think are really adaptable to whatever you'd like to feature as your focal point. But these love cats, I had to get them in. Now before Valentine's Day. Okay, so here are the pieces. Oh, thanks, Mary Jane. We've got it's the Tahitian Tide. That's the big piece. We've got just a Blackberry Bliss background. I'm pulling out everything I need here, one of each, okay, from the pack. Now you would have 3 panels for each card, so there's a total of 6 of those little panels, and then a front piece to stamp and a matte piece. Okay, so that's all of the pieces to make that one. All right, let's do the stamping first. Okay, so we've got that little shelf sitter cat again on the inner piece. And I am using Sweet Sorbet again for him. So if you're buying this class and you don't have these colors, you can see how many colors are in the paper. You can, I'm sure, substitute if you want to. Or since the stamp set is only 21 and you need to get at least 35 to get the class materials, you can add a stamp pad or 2. Okay, so there's our kitty, and I used Starry Sky. Again, this was kind of random. You could, you know, probably choose any color. I love hanging out with you. That's going on the inside. And then on the outside, we've got our upside down kitty in Blackberry Bliss. So cute. Pull this into the frame. And, oh, I needed that Starry Sky. Head over heels About You. I'm going to go ahead and stamp that first in the bottom, and then just put the cat over the top of it. Okay, and then here's that cat. I did clean that from the Balmy Blue, yeah. So this is a nice dark color. Again, you can see I'm checking every time to make sure it looks like I have good coverage on the ink before I stamp it. This is a nice dark color and almost black, so the grays would be nice for the cat. The crumb cake, the Sahara Sand, of course orange. We're gonna have an Archie in the family at some point here. Just didn't go with this paper. Okay, so I've got the, this is a stitch shape, about 2 3/4 inches square. Let me go ahead and put that on its matte piece and save that for the front. Okay, and then what we're gonna do, we're gonna take this centerpiece. This is almost like a gatefold. I'm going to fold back the front flap here, fold over the other side, and fold back the flap on the right as well. Okay, and you see those don't meet in the middle, but that's all going to be covered, so that doesn't matter. So you folded it like that. If you get the overhead view, you can see that better. Okay, we are going to put this white piece inside right at the start because otherwise it will be a little obstructed. And then, like I said, we've got these 3 pieces of the matching color here, and I'm going to deal with these right now. Okay, so you see on the finished card, when you put this together, these line up and they butt up against each other, okay, and they cover what would have been a gap there. They are actually adjacent to each other. So we need to attach those on the front of the card. We need one attached to the top left, one attached to the bottom left, and then one attached to the middle right, okay, for that to work. So I like to do that all at once. I'm not sure if you will like doing it that way, but I'm just adding my adhesive And I'm going to use some liquid glue so that I can slide these if I need to a little bit. Okay, I see the width that I need for this and this to put those in place. And then I see what I've got left over here to attach the third one. Oops, didn't mean to hit my finger. But since it's liquid, we can get these lined up, pushed together really nicely before it dries. Okay, well, that's really slipped a lot. Hold on. It was easier in practice. Okay, so top left, let me just start there, and then push it together with the middle one, and then the bottom one. There we go. And it lines up over the folded base that we've created. And we've got a little time to move them. Okay. So you can see where that will slide open. Okay, and if you can put your head right over it, you can see it better. But I'm kind of off at an angle so I don't block the camera. All right, so there you have the basic piece. It's sort of like a gatefold to me. And we can attach that to the Blackberry Bliss base, which is just a 1/4 inch bigger all around. And this is one of those points where I would let this sit a minute with my block on top of it, my big block. But we're going to keep going here. When you put, okay, the middle piece is going to come in one length. Okay, here, let me go ahead and put this with my block. Talk about this middle piece. We're going to cut this into 3 widths that will stack on each other. I do not want to try to cut these ahead of time and coordinate which pieces go together after they're all cut here and send that already cut to you. I think that will drive me crazy and be very confusing. But what you've got is a height of 4 7/8, and you're going to cut 1 5/8, 1 5/8, and that will leave 1 5/8. And you're going to keep each piece together with its mates, okay? So you could see, you know, if I have a lot of these pieces getting cut, I will never be able to keep them together. So I am cutting 1 5/8, 1 5/8, and then what's left is 1 5/8. Okay, and they go together. And this is kind of fun when you have a pattern that's somewhat continuous, not just a random pattern. And we're going to put that together on our card. Okay, so start with the middle piece. We want that centered on the middle panel. Okay, and that will be like so. So it actually, you know, there's a little margin on the top and a margin on the bottom. Now, when we attach the top piece and the bottom piece, we're not going to have the margin adjacent to this panel. Okay, so when we attach the top piece, we're going to keep a margin on the sides and at the top, but we're going to take the bottom edge and align it with the bottom edge of the panel. Okay, so that will give us the right spacing. That will leave a nice margin at the top, and that will make a nice spacing with the middle panel. Okay, same thing at the bottom, except we are going to leave a margin at the bottom and on the sides, but push the top edge flush with the top of the panel. Okay. And then when you put it together, it looks like so. And again, with the liquid glue, you can slip it a little if anything looks like out of place. Okay, and my infamous block that I love for this purpose. Okay, so then you have the cat to attach, and he can just go on the middle panel, and he should only be attached on the middle panel. Okay, so watch your adhesive. Might be easier to just put your adhesive on the middle of the middle panel, and then put your cat in place. So lots of different things you could put on this middle panel that would look cute, I think. I think that other quirky set, let's see if I can find it here quick. I think this has some good possibilities for this card too. Best Day with that cat in the middle, or the birthday cake as a taller piece. There's a lot of great sets that you can think of, I'm sure. Okay, and then I'm just going to finish up with a few gems. These look like starry sky, so I'm going to put them on. Okay, and there's the third card. This is super fun, this and different. So if you love a fun fold, I think this is a fun one. All right, so let me put these back together, and then I'll look real briefly to see if there's any questions. Remember, you've only got till Sunday night if you want this class. Here, let me hold this shut with the block here. So orders with this host code AET4BDKK, $35 or more will get the pieces to make these cards. You'll make 2 of each of the designs. You could change up the greetings if you want. I just like to use what's in the stamp set that I'm promoting at any time. Oh, thanks, guys. Yeah, I love this stamp set too. Debbie, hi, guys. I'm just looking through to see if there's any questions. I don't see any questions. Keep in mind during celebration, if you have a large order, you will get more for your money if you're buying the starter kit during celebration. They've added an additional $50 in value so that you could join for $99 plus tax, shipping is included, and choose $175 worth of products. So like when I mentioned the Stamparatus, that's like a $50 item. You can get that essentially free if you do the starter kit. No obligation to sell or even buy anything beyond the starter kit. If you ever have questions about that, ask me. If you ever have questions about getting the extra host, reward items, but you don't have a $150 order yourself, you want to combine with a friend, please ask that too. And if you do join, my team receives these PDFs with all the instructions to make these cards for free, so you can still make these cards. If you have any feedback about what I've been doing in January, about the classes and the format for buying and getting classes, or suggestions, I'd love any feedback on that too. So please don't hesitate. Contact me at stampyourworld@gmail.com or here on Facebook, and hopefully I'll find it. Sometimes the messages come through a little weird. Email would be the best. And Karen, I will send you a catalog, a set of catalogs. Sorry you didn't get them. Anything else? Any questions, comments? Thanks, guys, for joining me on a Friday. And have a great weekend. I'll just sign off. All right. Take care.